to hear.
Nowadays, the word development, which again, nowadays it's almost profanity, the word development, because development takes time and development requires patience. So yeah, it screams opportunity for those that continue to seek it, for those that understand that in college football and in pro football, right? Everyone's talented to a certain degree. I mean, you don't make many mistakes on just lack of talent, but the internal makeup and the mentality are going to make the difference in who pushes and forges ahead.
If you live in a Florida zip code and have zero DUI,
hey, let me tell you guys, you deserve this, D-Money. You deserve this because you've been saying for months that you're going to get the premium, and you just got exposed again, man. Honestly, after that,
we don't deserve victory out here.
After that debacle of a situation when we were doing the Cortez Redding video, I asked you 5 times, man, did we get the premium? And you said, I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to do it. You deserve that. And you know what? I'm glad it was you, Mr. Hotshot producer, doing it, not me, because then it would have been blamed on me again. That's on you, D. I'm sorry.
You know what? I don't deserve. It's like, remember when UM was not spending resources on the program, and everybody was saying, you guys don't deserve to win because you don't spend. The administration doesn't spend. That's me right now. We got to start investing in this program, man. We got Amon Richards on. We got big dudes on here. I gotta tighten up. So that's on me right now. All right, but here we go. Here's the quote. Finally, after about 2 minutes of work.
The internal makeup and the mentality are going to make the difference in who pushes and forges ahead and who maybe just kind of shrinks down or maybe even pouts. And when the opportunity comes, they don't perform, right? So I think there's a great lesson for everybody. There's also, a lot of these guys are young. That's like an eye-opener for some guys. It's like, wow, I should take that approach. That approach does work. It can work for me as well. So all in all, very positive.
All right.
Amon, you don't even understand. Cortez Redding was announcing his commitment, and he said, all right, and it was just me on the stream. And Cortez Redding says, all right, I'm going to be playing my next 3-4 years and literally the ad came up.
Oh my God.
And everyone freaked out.
That's crazy. I ain't go out D-Money. That's crazy. I go.
It's like $50 too for a year. It's like the cheapest thing. I'll take care of it today.
I don't know. They have all those issues. I guess it's not YouTube TV, so
yeah.
That premium, man.
With that.
But, all right, but man, you heard that quote. What are you thinking when you hear something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I think the comments are hilarious, but sometimes like. I think they say Pringle in general was like with scout team, giving the other, giving our defense looks and stuff like that. And then just like I think he's just maximizing the most out of his opportunity and just going forward. Like a guy like him has to play, right? He got in the game, limited opportunity. I think 7 carries, 8 carries, whatever it was. And I mean, he looked explosive, completely changed the pace. As far as like vision, I mean, it was very elite, like slipping through cracks. Knowing when to be like high tempo, when to slow it down, he just got great feel. And I think that's what we needed, man. I just think, I want to say shout out to Dawson, but I'm glad they just went with it. And maybe they didn't have a choice because Fletcher was down and they're just kind of there in the depth chart and guy gets a chance and boom. But I do think, the outside runs, right, to with a guy like Pringle and him hitting it, not cutting it back up or not trusting it, right, just trusting it played a big difference that we saw like in that second half. And, I'm excited to see that guy, get more touches going forward. I even saw him in the passing game. They did like a little flare, like almost like a screen or like a wheel, but just his speed, like it was making the defense like kind of like pause and like, hold on, like we haven't seen this guy do this yet. Let's keep an eye out. And then we hit Josh Moore on a quick slant underneath, and then next play we run the double pass for a touchdown. So I think he provides like a different element to our, run game that we haven't seen. I don't think Fletcher, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I think they're 2 different types of running backs. And what we've been looking for, that explosiveness, we saw it.
And when he answers a question like that, where he's talking about, hey, some guys get the opportunity, don't perform, some guys do, and they're taking advantage. Do you sense that as, hey, he's trying to put pressure on other guys in the room? Are we reading too much into it? Or do you sense that comment as like, hey, you guys who also want to play,
Yeah.
like you guys got to make plays when your opportunity comes because these kids just did that and now pressure's on you.
Yeah, I see it more as that, like opportunity. Like a lot of guys get opportunity, right? It may be once, twice a game, maybe 5 times, maybe 10 whatever it is. You still just got to maximize those. We get the chance, whether it's blocking, whether it's rushing the passer, whatever the case may be, getting home on a sack. If you're a DB, getting a DPU, like whatever it is, you just got to maximize that, and that itself will keep you off the field. Like right now, for example, like going into next game, we can't take Pringle off the field. That'd be damn near malpractice after what we just saw. Imagine he just did this, and then next week he on the bench not playing. It's like you were forced, like he's forcing the coaches to have to play him because he's producing when he does get the ball. Like that's what we want, and any other young guy in college football can do the same. Just got to maximize those opportunities because I will say it's very limited, and coaches aren't going to keep going back to you. They're not going to keep giving you opportunity after opportunity because their jobs are on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like they got families to feed too. Like they're not going to spend their time trying to make a guy elite. They're not going to spend their time trying to force a guy, to be productive. It's not going to happen.
It's a comment here from let's see what we got here. Luca Falsetto talked about the evals. Anthony Guandanino saying our evals last class were on point. You look at some of these dudes, man. Upshaw, Pringle, obviously Malachi Tony, Bryce Fitzgerald playing a lot, Josh Moore playing a lot. You got some defensive linemen, Dante Simpson, Herbert Scrogga is getting some reps. I'm leaving people out. Kellen Wiley, we're really excited to see what he can do. But it seems like the young guys in this class, the freshmen, a lot of these guys are playing. There were a ton of snaps for true freshmen. I'll pull up the tweet that Dennis Smith tweeted out on the official Canes account. But there were a lot of true freshmen playing in that game, which was, it was a blowout at the end, but it wasn't like Bethune, you know what I mean, where you knew those guys were going to play. Here we go. I'll pull up the tweet right here as we talk about this class. But you've seen these guys going back to spring where most of these guys were there. You've been seeing Upshaw. You've been seeing Josh Moore. There you go. 269 snaps, 2 touchdowns, 5 tackles for the true freshmen. Just what are you seeing with this freshman class, and what do you make of it, considering it wasn't really the highest rated? It was really, I think, the lowest rated of all of his classes.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've hit on a lot of those guys. Like Upshaw, he showed in, his opportunity, big spark in the offense. Like I think we did a good job just of hitting on the recruits and not necessarily like, top 5 class. Like we said, everyone's actually kind of upset with it. But when you look at it, how it is, like it was just more like quality, over quantity. And I think pretty much majority of those guys, like you said, are producing or have been on the field showing some type of, limited production or ability, right, going forward. So I'm happy with it. I never really get too upset on the recruiting side. I think we've done a good job of just recruiting and finding guys. Now it's just, for us to just keep stacking those classes, or these type of evals, I should say.
So go ahead, Pete.
No, I agree with you. I think that look, I've been critical of the recruiting at times. I still think they need to hit on certain positions, but there are results to speak for what we're talking about here. So,
and just focusing on Upshaw for a second, Amon, because we talked so much about Josh Moore, we talked so much about Malachi. Obviously, Upshaw's the guy that came in the same time. They're all here in spring. I thought he made plays really from the beginning too. He's one of my favorites in the class. Just a guy that can run routes. He can run those screens. He did it in high school. Obviously did it in this game. He's got that kind of strength to him where he's not the skinniest guy in the world. He can absorb some contact and keep his balance. Good hands. Seems like a good worker. I compliment Allen Hurns if it goes well. Obviously Allen Hurns had 1,000 yards in the pros. So he's a guy that had a long career, but some similarities there. What do you see when you look at Upshaw's game? I know it's early, but what are some of the things that stick out with you?
Yeah. Good question. Because like he's not the fastest, he's not the tallest, he's not the shortest. He's like kind of right in that like middle range. Like he almost reminds me like a bigger Jacoby George. But I don't know, I just like his game, man. Very smooth, great hands. Like even just going to like some of the practices, watching him make catches, like, or contested catches, like he's just a really good receiver. And I, I wish obviously we would have got more of him, early on. Maybe, he could, be a guy out there. But so far, like I said, it's a long season, and he's a guy, I think he even switched his number to 15, which I didn't even know. So you just never know who comes along. I think I said this maybe like 3-4 shows ago, but I was like, you just never know who comes along. It's a long season. Guys get nicked up, guys go down. And I was really alluding to like, JoJo being needed at some point down the line. But you just never know, right? You see a guy like Upshaw come through, give you a spark. We go score 7 after we were kind of sputtering for the first like 2 quarters. He kind of hits it. And, that's sometimes that momentum you need as an offense. So, but on Upshaw, Allen Hurns would be a good comp. But he was just he was like really, really good. So,
Right.
I'm just kind of hesitant. But as far as like style of play, right? Not the fastest, good hands, kind of, gonna get bigger, obviously. I could see that. I'm not like, that's not insane to say.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it turns out. People forget. I mean, Hurns was
I want to see his body type reminds me of Justin Jefferson, man, when Justin Jefferson was like a freshman at LSU.
Oh, see, I thought I was going overboard with Hurns because he hit 1,000 yards. Now you go straight to Justin Jefferson. So you got
body type, like the way they run, like they have the same running style, and like they're like very like slender guys. Obviously, Justin Jefferson got bigger and better over time, so we'll see. I'm not saying he's that, but when I'm just thinking about Justin Jefferson when we played him at LSU, like that 2018 year, just remembering like they kind of have the similar kind of body frame. Not saying he's gonna be that, but not the biggest, not the smallest, just kind of right in that middle range, but very good route runners, good hands. So we'll see. I like Upshaw's game. I don't know if he's gonna be Justin Jefferson's, but shit, if he can be I don't even know. Jacoby George type production for us, I think we'll be happy with that.
Listen, I would if this was uttered from D Money, I would come at him, but I'm not coming at the wide receiver here for the comparison. I have nothing. I have nothing to say. I can't say anything to you in this situation.
Just side by
are the
side,
expert,
man.
so.
Just side by side, just watching. The two of them, they just kind of like have similar body types, but we'll see when it comes to like the actual gameplay. So far, Upshaw with his first opportunity, right, in like a legit game. Big play, huge play, sparked momentum. Reminds me of like when we played the bowl game against West Virginia. It's like sometimes it's just that one play that gets things going. So that's kind of what it reminded me of. But yeah, I like his game. He said Jacoby George without the headaches. Y'all crazy. Man, our fan base is so ruthless when it comes to our players, but it's like love though. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
but you kind of get it now that you've been removed from it, right?
Yeah, it's love hate, man. It's like it's like your kid or something. You can't get away from them. You're gonna love them no matter what. But it's like, God, it pisses me off.
Well, some people now are saying, I still pull up one of the comments in the chat. This is the worst team in the ACC. Talk about Syracuse. So you got a couple guys make a couple plays against the worst defense in one of the worst defenses in college football. Now all this hype starts. I see that because Jordan Lyle, who I still think is good, but obviously has not performed well. He had that run against USF. Who were like bench him for David Martinez, or bench David Martinez for him. I'm sorry, bench Fletcher for him. Put him as a starter. Now everybody's kind of done with Lyle, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it goes up and down pretty fast. We got to acknowledge that.
You want the truth, D Money? You want the truth? You guys want the truth?
Always.
This is what it is, man. A lot of people before the season, they're telling so many lies, right? They're saying so much crazy stuff to.
We're a lot of people.
They're trolling the rivals about who's the better receiver or running back, right? And then when it don't happen, the rival fans come back and start trolling them. Then they get upset. Now they lash out on the players, right? But I don't think Jordan Lyle ever came online and said he was going to be the number one running back in America. And he didn't say really much, right? He just was out there doing his thing. So it's just kind of like he never said anything. I know he feels that way, but I think it's just a lot of it is just people, they get the high expectations and they want a player to be so good, so fast, just coming out of high school that they get upset when they're not like their like vision for what they want the player to look like isn't happening right now. So it just leads to the crash outs, he's sorry. Like, I don't think Jordan Lyle is sorry. I think he's a player that's coming off injury who hasn't found his flow within the offense. And we're also been running inside zones damn near all season. So I just think as we get a little bit more creative, which we saw last game, eventually when he hits one, he gets that confidence going, he starts to see it. It's like, I think you alluded to it before. I think it's like a basketball player just getting that scene to go through the net, right? Like that's just kind of what it is for football players sometimes. Like you just got to get that first catch, that first touchdown, that first run, and then it's off and running, from there. So that's just how it goes. So we'll see. It's a lot of football to be played. He's going to continue to get snaps. I think having a guy like Pringle that can provide like that spark lessens what Jordan Lyle in his mind feels like he has to do, because Dawson even said he feels like he has to do too much. And I think having someone that's like doing what you're supposed to do in a way, like allows you to kind of like relax a little bit and just kind of play your game. And when it comes, pause. Just pause before they clip that.
Hey, last thing before we get on a different topic.
Yeah.
On this one, just the young players. Like you've been on teams where young players had a big role. You being probably the foremost one in 2016, but Shaq, right, Pickney, all those guys are more than I'm saying. Malik Young, right? There were a lot of guys that had early impact in that team and kind of pushed that team down the stretch. You saw you guys were really rocking and rolling down the stretch and had a lot of juice, a lot of energy. You were making a ton of plays towards the end of the year. Just having those young guys at this time of the year, right? Because that are hungry, that are fresh legs, that want to show everybody what they can do. What kind of boost can that give to a team like Miami that right now we need explosive plays? We need that last little push to get over the finish line with these last 3 games.
Huge. I'm not going to lie. Like you're going to need those younger guys to come and make those splash plays like we just saw last game. When I think back to like my freshman year and just like towards the end of the year when I started like heating up, having like 300-yard games or whatever it was in a row, like it's more only because like at that point you've established yourself and you earned a trust from the coaching staff that I can make these plays like in these big moments. Like I can be that go-to guy. In the beginning of the season, right? You're thinking Stacey Coley, got David Njoku, Braxton Berrios. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you got to earn it. You got to prove it. Even if you do it one game, right? They want to see that consistency. So I just think we're at the point of the season where guys like Pringle, any of the really younger, Josh Moore's been getting a lot of burn. Upshaw just made a big play. You're going to see a lot of them guys in like a rotation. Because at this point in the season, it's like make or break. And the coaching staff is just looking for that spark. They're going to look for guys who aren't scared. They're not playing scared. They're out there looking to make plays on offense and defense. So I think these next 3 weeks, it wouldn't surprise me to see a guy like Jordan Pringle go for over 100 yards. It would not surprise me at all. Because sometimes you catch that flow. Also, a lot of the young guys are fresher than a lot of these guys who have been playing all season, right? You got the young guy, fresh legs. He ain't been beat up, right? He didn't go through Notre Dame and Florida and USF, and he didn't go through that gulag right there,
Hold on. I gotta cut you off because our boy, I love Juan Manuel, but he's been commenting this a lot. Like, do you no? But here's the thing. Like, you think Gerard Pringle as a top 5 to 10 back in the country did not get paid a lot of money to come to Miami? Like what are we? You think JoJo Trader's not making a lot of money right now in Miami?
Yeah. I don't want to pocket watch, but I know I think he making a good penny though. JoJo is so.
Yeah, you almost want to play your young players more because if they're just sitting on the bench,
then you're going to lose them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I understand what people say, but like, Amon.
Yeah.
You're around, and obviously it wasn't this way when you were playing with the NIL, but like, it's a bit different to me. It's the NFL. You got one team owner who's paying the bills, who says, man, I gave this guy a contract.
Yeah.
It's a way different thing. Like the boosters, I legitimately think just want to see the team win. They don't really care how it happens. They can say after, hey, we maybe paid this guy too much.
Yeah,
but I really do not think it's happening like that, bro. Not in Miami. Like,
I honestly, I get what it looks like, and I think someone just mentioned like DJ Lagway, right? Like they're forcing him to play because of NIL. And to be honest, like that could be true, right? It could be, but it's kind of like when you're like the face of the team or you're like an impact player, right? It's very hard for a coach to just give up on you, right? These coaches have feelings. They got time bought in, like a lot of energy. Like you're with these people every single day, looking them in their face. So it's hard to just be like, nah, we know you suck, but because we got to pay you NIL, right? You're gonna start. Like, it's not really, like I said, it may play a small factor, but it's really, to me, not the determining factor. You know, if we're looking at our own team, like Carson Beck, like you could say, oh, Carson Beck was playing bad in certain games or whatever the case may be, but he wasn't benched because, oh, we're paying him, you know, 4 or 5, whatever, millions of dollars, right? It's not that. It's because he's literally the best quarterback we got on our roster, and he gives us the best chance to win. Like, sometimes it's just that's just what it is as well. You get me? So, you know, I get it's the easy thing that people like to troll about and stuff like that. Like he say Sam Brown, right? Look,
Who was supposed to play last year?
Thank you. That's kind of what I was gonna say. Like
I'll say it for you. Who was supposed to play last year?
Yeah, I can't think. You know, Horton was starting and Sam Brown was rotating with him. And to be honest, if we're gonna be honest, like receivers, they're running 30, 40 yards down the field. You're gonna get tired, so you're gonna need some type of sub or rotation. And we're just hoping that he came in and made impact plays. Because we didn't know what Horton was going to be coming into the year. We knew he was developing, right? He could be the guy you don't know. So you bring in that competition and then let them battle it out. And then we saw Horton eventually took over, you know. But you know, Sam Brown, if he ran a little bit faster, he would have been good.